Good evening and welcome to our Chin Up show. Now, January is seen as the most depressing month of the year. There are money and weight issues, the weather gets people down, and sometimes there are relationship problems that may have been put off until January and that are now kicking in. And there's, of course, the big anticlimax from the festive period too. But there's no need to let these things get to you, because keeping upbeat and having a positive attitude can work wonders. It's proven that forcing a smile or laughing, even when you don't really mean it, actually creates endorphins that make you happy. The guests we have on the show tonight are here today because they like to make people smile. Two of them do it professionally and the other one doesn't actually mean to. He's just a happy, smiley person, and that's my first guest, Richard Anderson. Hello, Richard.
Hello. Pleasure to be here. Back again.
Wait till I ask you a question, but I'm joking. You're right.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
Now, the reason I've asked Richard on, I have known Richard for a while and he's been on the show a couple of times because he's one of those people that can just talk about anything. But also his smile, because I have never, ever known a person, apart from your brother, that laughs and smiles as much as you do. I mean, you find everything funny.
Okay.
And some people might find it a bit strange. I don't. I think it's quite endearing. But
okay. So
tell us, where do you get your happiness from, with the smiles? And
I don't know if it's that particularly. I mean, I think it all goes back to family. You know, I think I'm very lucky to have a nice family. You know, to come back to at home. And so because of that, that sort of solves 50% of my issues.
You were smiley before you had a family.
Yeah, I guess so.
You had your lovely wife and your little baby daughter.
So I guess that made me happier, I would say that.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I guess it's just being happy with yourself, you know, and just...
Were you always like this?
Not always, right? That's if I go back in the days before that, I was actually very suicidal before. Oh. Yeah, sorry to put it down on the show.
Okay.
Just say it.
It's supposed to be a happiness show. But anyway, go on, you can tell us about it, go on.
So I was very suicidal at one point.
Why was that?
It was just the way everything was going at home, family, it was just so really, really messed up. Not the happiest part of my life.
Yeah.
And I guess once I sort of sorted that all out, issues got sorted at home and also with myself, the way I saw myself, that's what I think.
How did you see yourself?
Before, after?
Before,
I just always saw myself as nothing. And because I saw myself as nothing, someone who didn't deserve anything, didn't deserve to be happy or anything like that, that just made me, everything I did was just terrible, basically, and I didn't try, basically. Didn't even give myself a chance to try. Yeah. So yes, it was horrible times. You know, I was thrown around by family members and stuff, not physically, but I mean, dumped in places. It's not a very happy time, and I don't want to put it down on your show.
No, it's okay. Just see, but he talks about it and he's still smiling. This is what gets us. But no, but the thing is, Richard, I mean, I wasn't expecting him to say that. I mean, it's a live show. I wasn't expecting, but it's no problem doing that, because it actually, the people watching might actually feel like that now. Yeah, true. And they're thinking, I'm never going to be happy. I'm never going to be able to have a genuine smile or like to laugh like, you know, I see a lot of other people do. But you've just said, like, the difference now. I mean, you're a happy person now. Yeah. And like I said, since I've known you, I've always seen you smiling and stuff. So we've actually got a video as well, Richard, I want to show you as well, and the viewers at home. We actually went to the streets and we asked people how happy they are on a scale of 1 to 10. So let's take a look at what they said.
Hi there, Chrissy. I've taken to the streets to get a sample opinion on today's topic. One might confuse affluence, material possession and wealth in this modern day and age as to what makes you happy or satisfied. Well, let's find out what the public have to say. On a scale of 1 to 10, how happy or satisfied are you?
I would say I'm on an 8. I'm very happy I'm in London. I've got a good job in a nice flat. Yes, I'm very happy here. I would say 8.
8. I don't know. I've stayed true to myself in life, so I haven't gone against anything that I believe. So that makes me happy. I'm living on my own. That makes me happy. My job's alright as well, so that's okay. I just would prefer to be a bit richer, I guess.
10, because obviously I've got good life going on. I've got a job, got a good girlfriend at home, got no worries and no troubles, so got nothing to worry about.
10 out of 10 because we're here. Could be worse, we could be in hospital. People are there with cancer. They don't even know if they're going to live to tomorrow. So as far as I'm concerned, 10 out of 10.
7%, and that's only because right now I'm setting short-term goals and accomplishing them. But if I was to set more long-term goals, then I'd be a lot more happy if I was to get the right results. But right now I'm just taking on a lot right now. So the short-term goals, accomplish them, and then later on set some long-term goals.
8. Well, I have a job, I live in London, everyone tried to come here, and I'm living in the middle of everything's happening. So what else?
9, because I'm liking college a lot. Like, I'm having a lot of fun, I've made new friends. I got lip piercing yesterday, and I don't know, I like being in London because everything's here, everything that I need is around.
Probably about 7, I would have thought. Yeah, I've got a job, got a good house, good housemates, got girlfriends. Yeah, can't really complain, to be honest.
And there we have it. Joe Public has spoken. What makes you happy and satisfied, Chrissy? Back to you in the studio.
I ask the questions, don't I?
You do.
I'll tell you later. Okay, so anything that stood out for you there?
One of them mentioned about, as he was speaking, he mentioned about long-term happiness and setting himself goals. I was Googling when I heard what the show was about, and I found some
did you bring your own points? Did you?
Yeah, I did. You know, my phone's kind of blown up on me, so I can't really bring it out now, but I'll the ones I can remember. There were 2 that I remembered, which were interesting. The first one was that those who have short-term happiness, or those oh man, please come back to me. This is a live show. You know, those who have short-term
It's okay, we've got
happiness.
outtakes. We've got outtakes. We can put it at the end of the show afterwards.
So let me put it this way. Those who have a long-term happiness
Yeah.
are those who are more fulfilled, with their own self, basically, which came down to their lifetime happiness. So they're just happy with themselves. That ensured long-term happiness. And short-term happiness was by random acts of kindness.
Okay.
And that's the study over 50 years.
Oh, okay. So that's your research. Okay. Yeah. So what about some of the things that the people said? Because I noticed a lot of people were kind of relating being happy to having certain things. So like you said, that the goals someone mentioned as well, having a girlfriend. One young man mentioned having a girlfriend at home that made him happy. So, but I'm thinking, what if they didn't have these things? Does that mean they're going to be miserable without all these stuff? Because I think you can be happy without. Not happy for long. I think you're happier when you have a relationship, I think. But I think there's other ways of being happy within yourself as well, which I think is important. And then obviously we have that gentleman that's talking about, well, there's people worse off than you, so you should be grateful for what you have. But okay, there's people that are worse off, but I would say, what about people that are better off? So maybe you don't have a very happy life at the moment, but because you say, oh, there's people worse off, so I'm just going to stay where I am, I think you can still sort of look for something better as well in your life.
Yeah, I think it's understanding your purpose, you know, just understanding what you're about yourself. I think once, in my opinion, obviously, once most people understand why they're here, you know, and they have a better understanding of what their talents are and the understanding of what they can actually do with their lives and where they're going, which I think is the main thing here, their purpose, their life purpose. I think that that just accounts for, I would think that accounts for the most happiest people, in my opinion.
Richard, where'd you get your what's the word? Your energy from? I think we're going to have one of those shows where we keep forgetting what we're talking about, but it's okay, don't worry.
I don't know.
Energetic. Don't you ever get tired? I've never seen you sort of like looking a bit tired or like a bit thoughtful or low, or you just hype all the time. Like,
I don't know. This water or something. You know? London water. It just gets me every time. I just don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
All right, what drives you forward then?
What drives me forward? My goals. You know, I have lifetime goals which I've set out every year, which I go through.
Oh, by the way, what did you do? I forgot to ask you. Sorry. For those of you who don't, did I?
Yeah. No, you didn't ask me. Yeah.
Did I ask you what you do? No, okay, so go ahead. You can tell people what you do.
So what I do is I'm a media entrepreneur, as it probably said at one point in the screen, which means we've created a project which is called Explosive Unsigned, which provides endless opportunities for unsigned acts. And it's been very exciting. Actually, today we did a board meeting, which means we invite new acts to come down to sign contracts if they would like to. And they can get managed by us. We give them a 12-month plan. It's very exciting.
Yeah.
We've got a talent show, we're on radio shows, television shows, and so on and so forth. It's very, very exciting. Thousands of artists already been involved.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so it's a really, really exciting time, you know. And I think for any acts which are interested, I hope you don't mind me plugging it here. It's too late now.
Contact the Chrissy B Show. All right, contact you. Your details at the bottom of the screen.
Then, of course, you can hit us on explosiveunsigned.co.uk. If you're interested in management, then hit management at explosiveunsigned.co.uk. If you're interested in management.
Right, okay. No, it's okay. No, you can.
Just saying.
All right. So, but I understand it's probably quite a stressful environment as well, and you've got like lots going on. It's probably very busy, and it's your own thing that you've put together as well. So, would you say like humour and stuff helps you in your day-to-day life?
It does. You know, it really does. Because with that show, I also do a breakfast show on another channel. That is just all of that together is a lot of work to maintain. But I think the trick is being organised. And at first, I found it very difficult to sort of gauge everything. And then there was a day I said to myself, I'm actually going to set some sort of structure in my life. And between X time to X time, I will do all kinds of work, no matter what it is. But as soon as it gets to 7 p.m., I am locked off anything to do with work. And that's the rule. Actually, that's my rule at home.
Okay, but how do you cope? How do you cope on a day-to-day basis at work? Does humour come into it, or you?
Yeah, I don't take anything. I don't mean this can sound a bit wrong, but I don't take anything too seriously. You know, even though I do have a lot of serious things, and by that I don't mean that I don't care, but I don't take it too seriously, and that's what I say to anyone who works with me.
Carry on talking, because I've got a point here that you just reminded me of something. Carry on, go on. Okay. I'm going to find it while you're talking.
When you do take it too seriously, then you just give yourself unnecessary stress that you don't need to have.
Yeah.
And I find that when you do that, you're just unhappy all day. And then you look at it, a bit more than what it is, if that makes any sense. And yeah.
What it says here, like they're talking about humour, instead of complaining about life's frustrations, try to laugh about them. If something is so frustrating or depressing, it's ridiculous, realise that you could look back on it and laugh, which you can do. Think of how it would sound as a story you could tell to your friends, and then see if you can laugh about it now. With this attitude, you may also find yourself being more lighthearted and silly, giving yourself and those around you more to laugh about. Approach life in a more mirthful way, and you'll find you're less stressed about negative events, and you'll achieve the health benefits of laughter, which we're going to talk about a bit about later on. So it does. Okay, even though you're in a stressful environment and like you're really busy and stuff, and like sometimes you feels like your head's going to explode. Actually, I do that sometimes. I feel like crying and I just burst out laughing. So my husband finds it really strange. But you know, when you get really like your head's so full and like you know you can't take it anymore, you just start laughing, because you have to make, the thing is you have to make a joke about things sometimes just to be able to get through certain things, and then it's not that bad afterwards when you've sort of had time to have, when you had a bit of a laugh and like it relaxes
normally it's never as big, isn't it? It's never as big a deal as it's being made out to be in your head. And if you don't laugh about it, then the only thing you're going to do is the other alternative, which is you're going to get mad about it, but that's not going to help anyone, because then your response to that afterward you can't take back. And I think that's the issue.
Okay, Richard, you're going to stay with us, because we're also going to talk to our next guest, and we're going to be joined by Matt Watts, who's a tour guide for the London Duck Tour. So join us after this.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back to our Chin Up Show, and we're talking about the benefits of laughter, and I have some lovely guests with me here tonight who are generally happy people. But just before we meet our next guest, which is Matt Watts, just to give you a couple of benefits of laughter, saying here it's good for hormones. So laughter reduces the level of stress hormones and increases the level of health enhancing hormones. It also increases the number of antibody producing cells and enhances the effectiveness of T cells. What are T cells? Anyway, never mind. All this means a stronger immune system as well as fewer physical effects of stress. So maybe if you're getting a lot of colds and stuff, maybe you need to laugh more. And another one is, it says it's a physical release. Have you ever felt like you have to laugh or I'll cry, which is what I said earlier? Have you experienced the cleansed feeling after a good laugh? Laughter provides a physical and emotional release. So I'd like to introduce my next guest now, and that's Matt Watts.
Hi, Chrissy.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. I'm very good.
Now, we met in, was it summer? No, it wasn't summer. When did we meet?
I was just trying to think when it was. I think it was September.
It was freezing though, wasn't it? I remember that day. It wasn't kind of in summer.
Definitely summer, the one we had last. You know, it was quite
Okay,
cool,
so we met there. We actually went to do a places to visit recording there, and this was the London Duck Tours, which is lovely. If you haven't been on it, it's really good to go to. And I met Matt there, and the thing is, we got stuck in some really bad traffic for, was it about an hour?
It was, well, it felt like it, wasn't
Yeah,
it? But it must have been nearly an hour.
It was quite a long time. So I can imagine, like, for a tour guide, how terrible that must be. You have to keep like the people entertained. But he kept us entertained for all that time. I didn't get bored at all. I was having such a laugh because, as well as sort of getting to know all the sights and everything of London, you get the entertainment part as well. And that's where I met Matt. And when we had this show, when we were talking about sort of upcoming shows, I thought of you straight away because you're just a funny person.
Oh, thank you very much.
Where did you get it from?
I'm not sure, to be honest. That's the first thing to say. I've always been interested in comedy, and I didn't set out to do comedy. I was just doing a sort of a standard administrator job, and I wasn't thinking, well, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, you know. And I thought, well, I want to do a bit of comedy, so I found someone called Keith Johnston, who's an impro guru, and went over to Canada and heard what he had to say, and he had some very interesting things about bringing out the natural comedian in you, really. So,
now, does he believe that's for everyone, or just certain people?
Definitely everyone. And really, his ethos and philosophy is to train actors out of stage fright, or trying your best. That's what he calls it. So as soon as you try, you tense up and you try and do things seriously. You try and impress people. Whereas if you forgot all that and just wandered into a situation in a more relaxed way, then something happens inside that comes out, which is very very endearing, very human, and people connect with. And the laughter that's generated from that is this genuine laughter of connection, rather than ha ha ha. I've just told a funny joke.
Right. Oh, that's really interesting. Well, let's take a look at the video first of all, before we talk more. Let's take a look at this on Duck Tours. I'm just about to get on the Titania of the London Duck Tours, and it's something a bit quirky, a bit different, and if you want to know why, follow me. I'm here with Matt Watts from the London Duck Tours, and he's going to tell us a bit about the history of this. Would you call it a vessel, Matt? What would you call this?
Well, a duck. Yeah. I guess that's the nice thing about what we do, is that we pick people up by the London Eye. We take them on a sightseeing trip, and then the difference is that we go to MI6, have a splash down into the river, and then we show people the sights. London owes its existence to the river, and what is nice about this trip is that we can show people the sights on land, but we can actually use Old Father Thames, and people get such a unique perspective from that. It's an experience. So you've got a bit of sightseeing, you've got the element of the fact that you're in a vehicle that was used in the Second World War and played a prominent part in it, and then particularly in the D-Day landings. We try and make the tours as entertaining as we can, so you get a few facts.
MI6, 9 stories high.
You get a few jokes.
We pay them to stand there on every tour.
Get a few stories.
Terribly sorry, don't move, there's a wasp.
So the nice thing is that you can come as a family, or come as a children's group, or an adult group. It can be a hen night or whatever, and you will get a slightly different tour. Yeah.
It was fun because we did get stuck in traffic because of the exploding sandwich, security alert, and there was a killer wasp on board, wasn't there?
That's what's nice about this job is that we like to celebrate the unexpected.
So if people want more information on how to book and everything, what should they do?
Type in London Duck Tours into a search engine, and we've got a website, londonducktours.co.uk. People can get the information, they can book online.
Thank you so much, I had a great time. It's great.
It's a pleasure taking you around, thank you.
Great stuff. So Matt, what makes you happy?
Entertaining people.
Yeah.
I really get a buzz out of that, where you can get onto a duck and you've got 30 people that are excited about going around on a tour, and you can actually give them something unexpected. You know, they might be expecting a few facts or whatever, and I can take them and say, right, you know, we're going to have a great time here, and point out the site, sure, but also there's always an entertaining story. There's always something that happens on the route that's unexpected, like the killer wasp, which was extraordinary, so wasn't it? It was about 10 minutes trying to get this wasp.
You just want to leave.
No, it was enjoying the tour.
Yeah, it was.
Wasn't it? And I get a real sense of satisfaction from at the end of the tour, people saying, oh, that was fantastic.
Yeah.
I'd like them to say, wow, that was better than I thought it was going to be.
But it was, and honestly, I'm not just saying that because he's here, because it really was, because I was looking forward to a boat ride, actually, basically, because I like being on the river and being outdoors and stuff, but it was so much more than that. And as I said, the laughter and all the jokes and the stories as well were great. Now, do you ever get sort of stroppy people coming onto the ducks?
Yes, we do, and I forget, because I live in London, that people come into London and they're a bit stressed anyway because they're in the capital.
Yeah.
And they're thinking, you know, well, London's had a bad press, this is going to happen to me, that's going to happen to me, oh my goodness, you know, I'm on this strange vehicle. And I think we've got the knack of just smiling. People say, welcome, you know, and have a seat, make yourselves at home, and we're going to give you a great time. And you can see them physically relaxed and think, oh, actually, I'm in safe hands here.
Yeah. Any like particularly memorable days that you had on? Well, I suppose you get many, but maybe something that's really stood out for you, that you had a great time, or one particular incident that happened apart from the wasp?
Well, that's what I wanted to talk about, because, you know, we were very excited you were coming on, and we've got the TV camera here, you know. We thought, well, we've got to get this all absolutely right, and planned, you know, a 75-minute tour and get all the angles in, and then there was a security alert and it all ground to a halt, didn't it, by Buckingham Palace. And gosh, I had to come out with all the stories, didn't we? Had the killer wasp. I was thinking, oh my goodness, you know, we want to show ourselves at our best here.
I didn't even think of all of that, what you guys went through. I was just like, oh, we're having such a great time. And I was thinking, oh, it's true, you poor things, because you've got a camera crew and all that happens on that day. It's like pressure.
Yes, but in a way it was quite nice, wasn't it? Because we could show you
know,
what happens. And in terms of memorable occasions, you know, we had a phone call and we were asked to join the pageant, the Queen's pageants, you know, the Diamond Jubilee pageant. You know, we had four ducks. And you may have seen that choir that got very wet, singing God Save the Queen right at the back of the pageant, and we were there, you know, we were giving them the Guard of Honour, and we invited Normandy veterans on board, and that was incredible. In fact, we got invited to their Christmas party, actually, and
nice.
We went, and these guys were on the front line on D-Day, and all they could talk about was their little experience on this bright yellow duck during the Queen's Diamond Jubilee pageant. It was wonderful. So you get moments like that where you just think this is just priceless. And I'm very fortunate that I have a job that I absolutely love.
Yeah, how was that? How was that getting up every day and doing that every day and just speaking to people, making people? What's that like?
Well, it's funny when you do it as your job. It does come with some pitfalls, and you might experience this as well, because you clearly do something that you love. When you do it for your profession, you have to do it every day. So it doesn't matter how you feel.
Yeah.
So it's not a hobby. Well, I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, do you know what? I'll stay in bed another half hour. You've got to get up. Yeah. So then the challenge is to go onto the duck or wherever you're going and think, right, well, I'm not going to show people that side of me. My performance side is going to come out, and I'm going to give people a good time. And for me, because I wasn't a trained actor, initially that was quite difficult, you know, because I am who I am, and I'm going to be a bit moody today. But that doesn't really work.
You can't do that.
Yeah. And unless we created a miserable tour, maybe that would work on certain days. So there's various things, and I was taught initially, be positive, and that's all very well, but sometimes you don't feel positive. I'm not going to be positive. So Keith Johnson was saying, well, do it with your body language. You trick your mind then. So open your eyes.
Teach us.
Open your eyes slightly wider, lets in more light, and you feel better. The smile.
Is that actually true?
Well, that's what he says, but it has worked for me.
Okay.
And sometimes when I'm really, you know, suffering, you know, and I actually remember this, and I think, well, actually, I'm going to open my eyes a bit wider, and suddenly I'm becoming more articulate, and I'm feeling better, and I'm smiling.
I'm doing this now. Mine's a warning.
Oh yes, over opening the eyes.
Yeah, I might scare people with my eyes.
Bit weird, But you're tricking your mind then. You're actually giving your mind signals that you're in a better frame of mind. And I thought it was a fabulous trick, and I have used that before.
And just, I guess, smiling at people as well, you just get that reaction back, and that makes you happy.
Yes, I was talking to a couple of the tour guides yesterday about what they do if they're not feeling the best, and they need to go on board and be happy. And one of the guides said, well, I just smile because people smile at me back. And I'm sure you experienced this as well.
Yeah.
And then suddenly you're both smiling and you're both happier. And the other guide said, quite frankly, I just have chocolate and fizzy drinks, and that sees me through.
Sugar rush.
That's it.
So it's great that you, I mean, I think it is important that you do love your job, because I know there's lots of people probably watching now that you're in a job and it's not that you hate it or anything like that, but you know it's not what makes you happy. You know, maybe there's something that you've always dreamt of being, I don't know, doing a particular job or starting your own business in something, or going down a particular pathway, and it's like you feel a bit scared to kind of take that step and go for it. But the thing is, if you let years and years go by and you're still in that job that's just okay, you kind of do it just because it pays the bills, but it's not really what you want to do, you're going to end up regretting it. And I think that's what makes people unhappy sometimes as well. So I'm always like a believer in, okay, just take the risk, just go for it, even though you're a bit scared, even though you're not sure it's going to work out. At least you tried. At least you can look back and say, well, at least I did try it, and maybe it didn't work out, but I did something about it, rather than, oh my gosh, I'm 85 and I wish I'd done what I. Not that it's too late when you're 85, because you still go for it. As long as there's life, there's in its own way.
Well, it's never too late, is it?
Yeah, exactly.
It's never too late. I mean, I started performing when I was 29, and I was wondering whether it was too late for me, and it wasn't. What it did do was to give me the confidence to bring me out of my shell, and then I was able to get a much better job, a job that I wanted. And I met my wife, you know, and
I love stories. Can you tell us a bit more about how you met? I always ask them, any time guests mention their partner.
We were at the Hackney Empire, actually.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hackney Empire.
Hackney Empire.
Okay,
yeah,
wow.
Yeah. And I was.
Who asked who out?
I can't remember.
Oh, don't stop it.
He was too drunk.
No, what it was? No, it wasn't. It was very nice. It was a bit of courting. You know, we went out for lunch regularly, and I do remember now, because I was off on an improvisation tournament off to Florida, and she was going on holiday, and we quite liked each other. And we said, well, let's go on our respective breaks, and when we get back, we'll see how we feel about each other. And we missed each other hugely, and then so when we both came back from our respective breaks, he said, well, let's go out, and it went from there.
Oh, so cute. Do you want to give her a little wave or blow a kiss?
Oh yes.
This camera here.
Hello, Suzanne, and hopefully Oscar has gone to sleep. He's 2, and so hopefully you're sat watching this. So lots of love.
Oh, that's so cute. We didn't plan that, did we?
No.
All right, we're going to go to a quick break because afterwards we're also going to speak to a lovely young lady who's a comedian and find out why she thinks laughing and smiling is important. So join us after this.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back, and to meet our third guest we now have Faye Tracy with us. Hello,
Hello,
Faye.
Chrissy. Hey.
So lovely to see you here.
Nice to be here. Thank you for having me.
That's okay. So you've just started out as a comedian, haven't you?
Yeah, I used to be, well, I still am, like, it's my day job, but professional musician. I'm a trombonist.
Okay.
And I graduated about 2 years ago, and then I went over to the States and taught for a bit. And I just got to a point I was like, I want to do something else, not so mechanical. When you're a session musician, after a while it gets a bit boring playing everyone else's.
Would you say you're quite a bubbly person and like
Yeah,
outgoing?
definitely. I was definitely an ADHD kid. You could not give me Coca-Cola, otherwise I would be up that tree. I was just a nightmare at school.
Oh. So how did you get into this, the comedian side of stuff, comedy stuff?
When I've always been into comedy. I've always just loved entertainment. But and I've always liked Robin Williams when I was little.
Yeah.
And I liked improv and things. And when I was living in Halls, I was living opposite Up the Creek. It's a comedy store in Deptford. And they used to have like student deals every Sunday. And I would just go down and I just was like, I really want to do that. I really want to do that. And then I hit 24 and I was like, you know what? I'm going to give it a go. I was like,
That's brave though, isn't it?
Let's have a career change. Yeah. Let's try this.
This is what I'm talking about. Like I was saying earlier, that you know, you sort of doing something. It's okay, but it's not really what you want to do, and then you can end up getting quite depressed about it.
Yeah,
when you went for it.
Just didn't want to be stuck. Like, I mean, I love music, but I was like, I'm a trombonist, and I want to speak, and I can't talk with a trombone on my face. And I have views, and I have an opinion. And I want to give it a go.
Oh, well, let's take a look at something that you do as well. We're going to have a look at this Comedy Cafe video.
Tonight I've come down to Shoreditch and I'm outside the Comedy Cafe. And I'm going to go inside and try and find a couple of comedians and ask them why they think laughing is so important. So Kate, you're a comedian. How many years have you been on the stage?
About 2 and a bit, I would say now.
And what inspired you to sort of like go down this road?
Well, I wanted to do like acting, and I used to just sing and play pop songs. And now I do musical comedy because in my uni course there was like a module in stand-up comedy, and I did it just to do something scary and to kind of build my confidence, and then I just carried on doing it. It's not many people bother to go out and watch it. They watch it on TV and it's all Michael McIntyre and stuff, and it's nice to go out and actually be part of it. It's fun.
So how long have you been a comedian for?
I'm into my 3rd year. This is my 3rd year doing comedy, you know, because I'm still learning. But yeah, this is my 3rd year into comedy, and it's going well.
So, how are you? Oh my god! We've got someone here for the stage. Can you believe it? Last person. So, where on the stage are you from? Oh my god!
So will you be hosting any sort of evening, or are you sticking to comedy because that's your thing?
Well, I don't know. I'd host any evening if I could tell a couple of jokes and have a laugh. I don't know. I'd host anything.
What was it that made you want to come down here this evening?
Well, I've come because one of my friends is actually a comedian from me, and he's performing tonight, so he invited me over.
And you?
My lovely cousin invited me.
Do you think if people are feeling a bit down in the dumps or fed up, it's good to get out here and like have a laugh with everyone? Do you think it's quite therapeutic in a way?
I think it's great, especially during the recession. I mean, everyone needs to kind of forget about work and everything that's happening in the economy and just come down and have a laugh and support good people.
Get the good vibes going. Laughter's the best medicine.
Yeah.
I was sussed out that quiche butter isn't exactly a Chinesey name, but that still doesn't stop people from trying to say it in a Chinesey way. I was at UK passport control and it was like, welcome back, Mr.
How does getting up on stage and making people laugh make you feel inside?
terrified, and then if it goes well, really good, and if it goes badly, awful.
Comedy's a little bit like therapy, isn't it? So, you know, I'll come on stage and I'll just let go, and people will be laughing while I'm on stage, like, depressed.
He's been dead 12 years.
That's great, thank you.
No problem, thank you.
Thanks a lot, ladies.
Thank you.
Really good. Thank you.
So tonight's been eventful and we've spoken to a few comedians. And you know, sometimes you're feeling down in the dumps or life's getting a bit mundane. And it's at times like this that you should go out there and do something that's fun and entertaining to put the smile back onto your face.
Thank you, Barbara. Now, Faye, you identified with what that lady was saying. I saw you nodding away about how she felt. Is it quite nerve-wracking? Was it nerve-wracking the first time that you did stand up?
It's still nerve-wracking. Yeah. You have no idea about what the room is going to be like. I mean, I'm brand new at comedy, and my aim is hopefully keep going at it for like about 10 years. Because I think it's like learning an instrument. Like, I studied at Royal Academy of Music. It was very hardcore classical trombone, and I've been playing trombone for about, 14 years. And I think stand-up is an art form that will take that long. And so, yeah, it is nerve-wracking because you don't know how it's going to go. You don't know what kind of crowd you're going to get. You don't know if you're going to get like 19-year-olds.
What was the first crowd like? Do you remember?
Yeah, I did it for the first time in the States, and I got on like the pretentious Brit in Florida in a Republican redneck bar and decided to have a go at them about their foreign policy.
How did that go then, Faye?
My mates were like, they are armed over here, we need to go. Because I was like, you in Israel, ridiculous, what are you doing?
Gosh.
And,
so you got out of there alive then, obviously?
I did, I had to rethink. I was like, I'm too new to really talk about hardcore politics or I know religion, and there's certain things that I'm not tackling yet, like more like sex-based comedy I won't handle yet because I'm just so new and I want to do it well. Everything has to be done.
Okay, and how's it been going since then?
Good, since I got back to Britain. We have a different sense of humour.
We do, don't we?
You were talking about happiness, but my problem with America is I was like, they were too happy, clappy in an unrealistic way. I think happiness comes with acceptance, and I think that's why I prefer Britain in a way. We're just a bit more realistic.
Okay, we won't show this video in America because she just said it's no good over there.
No, I was in Florida by Disney World. I'm sorry, it was just kind of like, oh, shut up.
So obviously, when you see people laughing at your jokes, how does that make you feel?
It's great because you're connecting with people. It's what I love about comedy. It's so different to the other art forms. Because if I was going to get up and play a trombone concerto or something, it would be you're paying to listen to me have practiced something to a mechanical skill to this level. But with comedy, it's a two-way thing with the audience. I have to connect with the audience, otherwise I'm screwed.
Yeah.
It's not going to work. So it's harder, but it's a lot more satisfying because you get that instant laugh back. But when you don't get a laugh and it's worked for like the last 5 nights and you're like, you think I'm just insane. This is awful. Like, there's been times where I've done the comedy cab twice, and the first time I literally think the audience just thought I needed therapy.
Oh, you poor thing. That must be quite difficult, but you kept on with it though. That's
I mean, you just have to keep going. I think you just have to build a bit of a thick skin, but I think it helped actually doing the trombone before, because being like a girl, trombonist, you're up against a lot of northern brass lads for a lot of the time, and they're not used to females, and I think it definitely gave me a thicker skin because you just got used to it.
I suppose it makes you more confident as well, because you're having to stand up in front of lots of people and you do develop that thick skin that you're saying, but does it make you confident in other areas of your life as well?
Yes, but I think in other areas, I think my love life is going to suffer for years. I'm out gigging every night. I've been like,
how often do you do it? How often do you do it?
I go out now I try and do about 4 or 5 gigs a week.
And how long are you on stage each time?
It depends, 5 to 10 minutes, open mics 5, if you get
that is a long time if people aren't reacting well, right?
Yeah, then it feels like forever. But if it's going well, you want to keep talking. I mean, I'm a babbler, but...
Well, that's good. That's good for comedy, isn't it?
Sometimes, but it's about the editing is what I'm learning as I go along. I'm like, where's the punchline? I just talk too much rubbish.
And how do you guys deal with grumpy people then? Like if you do come across like maybe at work or audience or people, and what do you do with them?
On my first ever tour with London Duck Tours, it was late, the trip was late, and the person who booked it for her friends was absolutely furious and red in the face. And I thought, there's absolutely nothing I can say at this point to cheer you up, other than I'm pretty sure by the end of the trip, you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
And for the first 20 minutes, no reaction,
Oh, God.
red face. Oh, carry on, carry on, carry on. Got into the river and she just relaxed. And then she did come over and said, I was so up for going straight into the office and getting a refund, but that was fantastic and thank you very much. And you've made my day. It did, and that was a huge boost. And actually, I can turn it around because I mean, there's nothing worse than if someone's in a bad mood, going up to them and going, "Oh, come on, cheer up, mate." you kind of have to lead by
a bit like
example.
the title of our show, Chin Up, and near enough to say. Sorry about that, people. If you're not feeling too great.
Everyone's like that. Hang on, who are they to tell us? But it is the important thing, isn't it? If you have faith in what you do, and as someone that entertains people, you know you can win most people round.
Okay.
I think.
So we've got a few minutes left, so we're going to have a little sort of game now. Now I'm a bit useless with jokes because I don't normally get them, so I'll be quite good at this one, I think. But we're each going to maybe say a little something to make the others laugh, and the others are going to try to keep a straight face and not laugh.
Okay.
All right, so who wants to go first?
What is everyone looking at me for?
Come on, Richard, try.
Okay,
so Richard will go
ready.
first. So
serious
you can
faces.
say,
Okay.
all right. So we're going to try not to laugh at all. We're just going to.
You're not even allowed to crack a smile.
No smile.
Okay. Why did the chicken cross the road?
I don't know. Why did the chicken cross the road?
Okay. Wait. You're gonna laugh. I'm gonna have to do this magically now. Go on,
All right, Richard, that's not
Thank
fair,
you.
but okay, all right, go on, Matt, you can try.
Oh, it might.
Yeah, go on then.
Okay, right.
Hang on a minute, I'm still smiling, 1 minute. Okay, not good.
I'm rubbish at this. I'm one of those people who just...
You've got a natural smile anyway, it's not working this game, is it? Okay, let's try. Or tell us your best story then, one of your funny stories from your tour.
A funny story from the tour.
We can laugh.
We can laugh, you say.
Okay, right here.
Okay, hold on.
Or maybe one of the stories you tell.
Sorry?
Maybe one of the stories you tell on your tour.
Yes, all right. I'll
okay.
do something on my tour.
All right.
Okay, so here we have the Houses of Parliament, right? And the terrace overlooks the river. And we like to wave at the politicians, but they don't normally...
Sorry.
Well, there we are.
I want to hear the story now, go on.
I was thinking, where is it going? Sorry.
Do you see David Cameron?
So the punchline now is incredibly weak. Can I just can I just bring it that?
Yeah,
right. Okay. Right. Here we go. Right. So we like to wave at the politicians. Right. So we're on the river. Right. Okay. We're on a boat. Right. We're waving at the politicians, but they don't like to wave back. Only when there's an election, because we're floating voters.
I get it.
Oh, you
That's
got it,
awful.
Chrissy.
I got it. It's true.
That's good.
I don't know, so that shows that you're good. Never mind, we've got 30 seconds from you, Faye.
30 seconds.
Yeah, go on then, make us laugh. All right, I'm going to try and keep a straight face.
Well,
you don't have to do it, don't worry. No pressure.
To be honest, you guys are making me feel as awkward as if I was a Jehovah's Witness with a phobia of front doors.
Okay. All right.
Good, yeah.
Very good.
Very good. Very good.
All right, guys, we are coming to the end of our show. Thank you guys so much for coming on and for making us giggle and for talking about the importance of... I mean, I did have lots of points to talk about here, but we didn't get around to it. For example, let's just tell you quickly, laughter gives you an internal workout. It's a good belly laugh exercises the diaphragm, contracts the abs, and even works out the shoulders, leaving muscles more relaxed afterwards. It even provides a good workout for the heart, which is great. Oh, God, why are you looking so serious?
I was going to say
point. So,
oh, okay, sorry.
I was thinking it keeps going to the gym then, doesn't it?
I was thinking I should be skinnier.
And social benefits, of course. Laughter connects us with others. Just as with smiling and kindness, which we've spoken about already, most people find that laughter is contagious. So if you bring more laughter into your life, you can most likely help others around you to laugh more and realize these benefits as well. By elevating the mood of those around you, you can reduce their stress levels and perhaps improve the quality of social interaction you experience with them, reducing your stress level too. So see, if you make other people happy, you get happy yourself. All right, so I have to go now because my producer's telling me to stop. All right, but we have reached the end of the show. And just to say as well, because I know maybe there are people watching that really say, look, I've got so many problems in my life. I'm going through so much right now. What you're talking about is not going to help me because I just can't see a way out of my problems. Well, actually, as you heard from Richard, and Matt has a story as well that he didn't get to talk about today as well, but we had everyone's, you know, most people that are really, really happy today weren't born like that. They've been through something, they've had a hard time in life, they got through it somehow, they got the help that they needed, you know, as our guest did tonight as well, and they're happy now. So you can actually be genuinely happy inside. You're going to go through problems, of course, but you can overcome those problems. And as you know, my background is I wasn't a happy one, but I'm a very happy person today. So if you are going through something, you say, look, it's not enough to go to a comedy cafe, it's not enough to be around happy people, I still feel miserable. So what I'll say to you is please do look for the help. You know, there are places that can help you. If you want information from me, you can email me on chris@chrissybshow.tv because I want to see you happy, okay? But on Wednesday, we'll be talking about the evils of redundancy and the terrible effect it has on employees if it's handled very, very badly. So we'll see you again next time on The Chrissy B Show. Bye-bye for now.